Have you ever felt like your entire body is slowly shutting down, even while you're still forcing yourself to function, smile, work, care for others, and pretend that everything is fine? Many women live in a state of silent collapse, a collapse no one sees, no one asks about, and no one helps them escape from. They wake up with heavy eyes, unable to explain the exhaustion that seems to deepen every day. They push through tasks on autopilot, feeling disconnected from their own bodies, questioning why simple things now feel impossible. Society praises women for being strong, capable, independent, the backbone of the family, but no one talks about the invisible emotional and physical price behind this performance. Women carry responsibilities they never mention, emotional weight they never show, and mental battles they never confess. And here's the truth every woman needs to hear. Burnout doesn't happen suddenly. It builds itself inside you quietly, slowly, consistently, until your body can no longer hide it. Burnout is not a weakness. Burnout is not lack of discipline. Burnout is the result of being everything for everyone for too long, while receiving too little in return. Today, you will understand the real reason behind female burnout and why it affects women differently, more deeply, and more silently than anyone realizes. Female burnout begins with pressure, not the kind that explodes, but the kind that accumulates. Women live carrying multiple roles simultaneously, working, taking care of the house, supporting relationships, caring for family members, managing emotions, anticipating problems, remembering responsibilities, fixing what goes wrong, and being the emotional anchor for everyone around them. This invisible load is called mental labor, and women perform it every single day without rest. At first, you don't notice the damage. You tell yourself you're just tired, that it's just a busy week, that you'll rest later. But later never comes. Slowly, your body stops recovering between days. Sleep becomes insufficient. Your mind stays alert even at night. You start waking up already exhausted. Your breath gets shallow. You feel overwhelmed by small tasks. You lose patience faster. You feel emotionally fragile, but pretend everything is okay. What begins as emotional pressure becomes physical exhaustion, then hormonal imbalance, then emotional collapse. Burnout grows inside you the same way cracks grow in a wall, unnoticed until the entire structure gives way. Women think they are failing, but the truth is the opposite. They have been too strong for too long. When burnout takes over, the very first system to collapse is the hormonal system. Cortisol, your stress hormone, spikes so frequently that your body loses the ability to regulate it. High cortisol makes you anxious, wired, restless, and unable to slow down. Then, when cortisol crashes, you feel tired, empty, slow, hopeless, mentally foggy, and physically drained. Progesterone, the hormone of calm and emotional stability, drops dramatically, making you irritable, impatient, sensitive, and prone to emotional overload. Estrogen becomes unpredictable, causing mood swings, bloating, headaches, breast tenderness, and unstable energy levels. Your thyroid, responsible for metabolism and energy, becomes sluggish, making you tired and foggy even after a full night of sleep. Insulin becomes unstable, creating cravings for sugar and carbs, sudden hunger, weight gain, and loss of control over appetite. Burnout is not just stress. Burnout is a full-body hormonal crash triggered by long-term emotional overload. Women often believe they are broken, but in reality, their hormones are responding exactly the way they should when the body is pushed past its limits. Burnout affects the brain in ways most women never imagine. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, decision-making, planning, and emotional regulation, becomes weaker under chronic stress. This makes simple tasks feel overwhelming and decisions feel heavier. Meanwhile, the amygdala, the area responsible for fear, stress, and emotional reactions, becomes hyperactive. As a result, you feel anxious without knowing why, overreact to small issues, or feel emotionally unstable. Brain fog appears, making it harder to think clearly, concentrate, or remember things you used to recall easily. You start forgetting conversations, missing appointments, misplacing objects, or feeling mentally slower. This is not lack of intelligence. This is the brain begging for rest. Burnout also disrupts neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, affecting mood, motivation, confidence, and even pleasure. Suddenly, things you used to enjoy feel empty. You feel disconnected from yourself. You feel numb at moments and overwhelmed at others. Women mistake this for depression, but it's burnout affecting brain chemistry. After the brain and hormones collapse, the physical symptoms begin to appear more aggressively. Women experience digestive issues like bloating, constipation, diarrhea, stomach pain, nausea, or food sensitivities. Hair begins to fall out in larger amounts. Skin becomes more reactive. Breakouts, rashes, dryness, redness, or dullness. The heart may beat faster, even at rest. Muscles feel heavy, achy, or weak. Periods become irregular, heavier, or more painful. Fatigue becomes permanent, not temporary. You may feel dizzy, shaky, or disconnected from reality. Sleep becomes poor. You either sleep too little, too lightly, or sleep a lot and wake up exhausted. Your immune system weakens, causing frequent colds or slow recovery. These symptoms are not random or just stress. They are your body sending urgent signals. Female burnout does not affect just your mood. It affects your entire physical functioning. Your body is not betraying you. It is protecting you by forcing you to slow down. Emotionally, burnout can feel like losing pieces of yourself. You become easily irritated, overwhelmed by noise, sensitive to criticism, and unable to regulate your emotions the way you used to. You may cry without understanding why, feel numb in moments that should feel emotional, or feel disconnected from people you love. Guilt becomes a constant companion. Guilt for resting, guilt for not doing enough, guilt for not feeling like yourself. Anxiety increases, not because of external problems, but because your nervous system is overstimulated. Burnout also causes emotional exhaustion, the feeling of having nothing left to give. Women often hide these emotional symptoms because they're afraid of being judged, misunderstood, or seen as weak. But burnout is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you have been strong for too long without support. Burnout creates a vicious self-feeding cycle. You feel exhausted, so you become less productive. You become less productive, so you push yourself harder. You push yourself harder, so your body crashes even deeper. You try to rest, but your mind won't calm down. You try to sleep, but cortisol wakes you up at 3 a.m. You try to take time for yourself, but guilt keeps telling you that you don't deserve it. You feel overwhelmed, so you isolate. You isolate, so you feel unsupported. The cycle repeats itself until burnout becomes your daily normal. Women begin to believe this state is just life, just adulthood, or just responsibility, when in truth, it is a health emergency silently unfolding. The longer the cycle continues, the harder it becomes to break. But it is always possible. Healing female burnout is not about productivity hacks or motivation. It is about restoring your nervous system, rebalancing your hormones, reconnecting with your body, and giving yourself permission to rest in ways you were never taught. Healing begins with slowing down, not speeding up. It begins with saying no more often, valuing your time, setting boundaries, simplifying your life, sleeping deeply, nourishing your body, breathing intentionally, and reconnecting with the woman you were before burnout took over. When you begin supporting your hormones, eating for energy, restoring your gut, healing your thyroid, calming your mind, and reducing chronic stress, burnout starts to release its grip on you. Your energy returns gradually, your emotions stabilize, your digestion improves, your brain fog lifts, your confidence returns, your body begins to trust you again. Burnout is not the end. It's the beginning of a new version of you, a version that honors your body, your limits, your emotions, and your worth.